For 21 years, I had the barbershop right there on Compton Blvd and Harris. So all the homies got their haircuts in my barbershop. You know, the Luders, the Elms, the Hollies, the Mobs, because the East Side was one back then. You know what I mean? Like I said, it was ESP. You know what I mean? East Side Piru, and that's what I pushed. There was probably a lot of homies didn't even know where I was from because I pushed all this was my hood, you know what I mean? And that's how I felt in my heart, you know what I mean? So when I got the barbershop, it was like central, like East Side Central, you know what I mean? Everybody from the Buntries to the Trays to the Flips to the, everybody got their shit. D-Dog, Shitty Mike, everybody got their shit cut in my shit.
And then you also got involved into the nightclub business.
Got into the nightclub business and shit because I used to throw little parties and shit, and people used to come. I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? So when I got my first real nightclub was the Red Velvet in Fullerton. And when I opened up the Red Velvet in Fullerton around 90, 98, 99, we used to go out and shit. Me and the homies, we had a crew of dudes from Lime Hood, Ludus Park, Cross Atlantic. We used to go out to all the little clubs, the Century Club, Savannah West, motherfucking Paradise 24, the Golden Tail. We go out to all these clubs and have a good time. But every time we going out, we run into the Rips, you know what I mean? And they be deep, you know what I mean? So when I got the opportunity, my little homie Tyrone Longino, he said, hey man, I got a line on this Red Velvet. I'm like, well, what they talking about? You know what I mean? He had it on lock, but he didn't have the financial backing. So when I came in originally, it was me and Tyrone, you know what I mean? We cracked open the Red Velvet. It was ironic that it was the Red Velvet, you know what I mean? And I pushed it all to the hood. Nigga, this my new shit. Nigga, y'all come through. Got to doing birthday parties, got to doing this. The Red Velvet ended up blowing up, man.
Now, before the Red Velvet, though, you would hang out at some death row functions.
Oh, no doubt.
Even when Pop got killed in '96, were you in Vegas?
I was in Vegas. I actually had a room at the MGM when Pop got killed. You know what I mean? I think the homies on that one, because we was down there a few times at the 662, the club Suge had. And I think they was at the Luxor that night, but I had a room at the MGM, and I was actually at 662 when I got the news that Pac got shot.
So you functioned with all the Pirus that were death row Pirus.
Oh, but
even though they were doing death row thing, you were doing a different thing.
Well, there's the thing about it. They were still 9-to-5 dudes. I mean, or, most of the times they come home from work like regular motherfuckers. These was my personal homies. That was my connection with the road, that the dudes who was on the road from Eastside Compton was my personal homies that when they get off work, they coming to fuck with me in some kind of capacity, or I'm going to fuck with them, you know what I mean? So Death Row was this close because the homies was right there. They invited me to all the shit. But sometimes y'all going to get y'all a check. I got to go get mine. But I was invited to all the shit, you know what I mean?
Was it a big deal when Big Jake from Campanella got killed out in Georgia?
Yeah.
Take me back to that. When you first heard about that, what was you thinking?
Well, you know what? I was like, damn, that shit getting real. You know what I mean? And I was hot, you know what I mean? Like, because I ain't gonna lie, I thought Pirus was the biggest thing smoking. Like, how did that happen? I didn't question nobody because I wasn't there, of course. So I don't know all the dynamics of how it went down, but at the same time, that was a loss. Jake was a G. You know what I mean? That was the big homie for sure. You know what I mean? So when that happened, I just figured that shit, you know what I mean? Brompton was gonna be on planes and shit going to try to holler at motherfuckers, you know what I mean? Dude was that important to the regime, you know what I mean? To Brompton, and that was the first I heard about, some real altercations with the death row, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was a year before Pac got killed.
Yeah, and you know what I mean? And then, but at the same time, Big Jake is, I'm gonna be honest, Pac was the rapper, known to the world. Big Jake was a Brompton general, you know what I mean? A real G homie, you know what I mean? Out of Brompton, we motherfuckers was hurt over that, you know what I mean?
So then a year later, nobody was expecting Pac to get killed.
Yeah, Pac got killed and shit, and like I said, I was there then. I had been there before that. We was always down to Vegas because Tyson was bringing their crowds in. Sugar had 662, but when Pac got killed, man, that was a whole different, situation.
Now after Pac got killed, it was a lot of beefs between the Pirus and the South Side.
No doubt.
And at this time, you hustling and you haven't quite gotten to nightclub business yet, right? This is 96.
Yeah, no, not yet, because that beef was, you know, I was around then. I won't speak on that because, like I say, I'm a, you know, I'm from that shit, so I won't speak on that. But yeah, I know all about the whole, you know, the whole thing that went down. You know what I mean? They get the beef and, you know, the beef get cracking.
And then it seems like after that, just a lot of Pirus just started dropping.
And all of them was my homies.
Yeah, like
I fuck with every single one of them.
Heron.
That was my nigga. Me and Heron used to low ride together and shit. Now that was the G homie, you know what I mean? Super G. And like I said, I never tried to be nobody other than me. But the homies took to me. You know, I never forget when I was at Heron house one day and his mom came out and was like, young man, what are you doing with him? You know what I mean? Like, he like, mama, he had a raspy voice. Mama, that's the little homie. You know what I mean? She like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, baby, you need to go do something else, you know. But that was the homie, and him and his brother JP. You know what I mean? Them was the G's. Buntry, me and Buntry had a relationship that, you know what I mean, certain people can tell you about, certain people can't. You know, if you ask Trey, you ask Timmy, you ask, you know, dudes like that, man, I fucked with Buntry and Buntry fucked with me. You know what I mean? Buntry was gonna make sure that I had, when the award shows come, Buntry was gonna call me and ask me did I wanna go. You know what I mean? He was gonna give me tickets, floor seats, or he was gonna give me tickets to the Soul Train Awards, to the BET Awards if I wanted to roll. I had that action with Buntry, you know what I mean? And Buntry had a special relationship because at the time, you know, Heron was gone. Some of the G homies was in and out of jail, you know, so I used to push Buntry on, you the general, homie, you the big homie. You supposed to be setting, you know, I used to be on his helmet, you know, you supposed to be pushing it like this, you supposed to be, but Bunchy was like, well, you know, you and Timmy go do it, you know what I mean? But I love Bunchy. Bunchy was a good homie.
Did you have a relationship with Chin?
Yeah, me and Big Chin was tight and shit, and me and Big Chin was tight. Me and Big Chin bought and sold cars with each other and shit, you know what I mean? And I love Chin. Chin was cool as a motherfucker.
Now, what was you thinking, like, all these Pirus you just came up with, you know, that they're getting killed?
Thanks for watching StreetTV.net. If you're not subscribed, please hit that button below and click the bell to receive alerts and notifications. Feel free to comment below so you can give us your feedback, and be sure to watch the 2 related episodes to the right. If you want to support this platform or follow us on social media, visit the links in the description, and thanks for watching StreetTV.net.